Hello and welcome to part 9 of the Gauge 1 LMS carriage build. Where we left off last time is I was fixing these little pieces on the end of the main base here, and these pieces are mainly, the purpose of these pieces is to give us a little bit more purchase when I come to fit these ends on. But we're at a stage now where there's some detailing that we can need to think about. If you look at these here, just looking on the end part of the carriage, there's some nice detailing that I'm going to add. These are pipes. I think these are pipes to fill a water tank. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, I'm sure people will correct me. And I believe these might be steam pipes. And going up here again, on here there's some steps. And I'm going to go to the trouble of putting these on because it'll just give it a little bit more of a realistic look. As I say, there's some parts I'm going to make, the likes of these. I can make these quite easily. But there's also some other parts that I've purchased. For example, we've got one of the little mushroom vents. And I just found it easier to purchase these rather than go ahead and fiddle around trying to make them. Likewise for these tiny little grab handles. These are tiny little grab handles that go on the side of the coach. Again, I've purchased those. And also there is some door handles that I've purchased as well. And these will just give it that little finish, a little bit of finishing off. You may remember from the previous episode I mentioned about the buffer beams, and now these are being sprayed with the primer, and these been sprayed with the black, so these are ready to go on. Also some detailing I have. These are the sole bars. These go underneath the carriage. They show you the cross section here of what they look like. And where these fit, here's our carriage base, and these sole bars fit underneath, basically for strengthening, and they will give the strengthening here as well. So that's what they look like, these sole bars. So we have that detailing as well. But as I mentioned before, the main place I'm going to start is doing this detailing here, this pipe work. And I shall begin to make some of these steps. These steps are going to be a fairly straightforward affair. They're little pieces. I'll use some little pieces of brass angle. That's going to be easy enough with some little pins to hold those on. But these, as I say, as I mentioned, it will be far easier to put these in handheld separately before these are fixed on the end of the carriage. Also, I shall spray these up at the same time, so it's less hassle picking the whole carriage up. That's the plan, so we shall make a start on that. This is the brass angle I shall be using to make the steps, to make these steps that we're showing here. So this is the brass angle, and I shall just cut these off, little slices, but pretty straightforward little job. You just join me as I'm just milling the last of these steps to the correct width. That looks fine. Okay, here's the last of our steps that are now milled to length. And what we need to do now is just really take this little face off here. That's just a little bit too high at the moment, so we're just going to slice a bit off there, because this is the bit that actually anchors onto the, actually fixes onto the end panel. So we just need to basically halve the amount halve the amount that's on there. So that's the next little job. Quick update on the steps I've been making, and here's the story so far. I've made the 24 steps that we need, and what I've done, I've cut them to size now as to what we're looking for, and you can just see also you've got two little holes drilled in there. Now 24 steps means having to drill 48 holes, because these are going to be fitted on into the back of the coach body with these little pins. These little pins are going to go through here like so to hold them onto the coach body. That means 48 holes have got to be drilled. So what I did to make life easy, I made a very simple, very crude drill guide so I can get the holes consistent. The other thing I've done is taken our template and I've drilled the holes from the steps where they're going to go. I've drilled the holes from the steps onto this template. And now it's quite easy now to, when we have our pieces of wood, just to fix this onto the wood and drill through all the little holes ready for the various mounting of the various pipes and steps and things. So I can spot through from our template the holes ready for mounting later on. Okay, now they've been drilled, and you can see there now, I hope you can see, we've got a bunch of holes that have been drilled ready for our steps and brackets to go on. Been carrying on with the detailing, and what we've done now is, remember the little steps that we were making, you've actually completed those now and put those in position, and also I've put this little bit of detailing on for these for the steam pipes. The other thing I've done also is I've added these other water pipes, I think you call them, and I've put those in position. This is just, I mentioned before, how we make the little eyelet for holding on the water pipe. Once this little brass rod, half round brass rod, is annealed, it bends very easily, and so what you can do with the pliers now is you can squeeze it very, very tightly round our little drill former, and these go through, and these are being used here. What I shall do is solder these on, because when I come to assemble the roof, put the roof on, this will have to come out to fix the roof on, then fix these back on, and then I shall trim these to length. So with our nickel silver wire we can bend the shape that we want for this pipe. I'm just using one of these. This is a scrap piece. It's come in very useful, and I can use this just to gauge approximately, for now, the length of what this wire has to be. So it needs to be at least that, plus that much coming down, so we're looking for a piece something like that length. And we can first of all start to bend it gradually. There you see, that's the start of it going in, and what we'll do now is we'll have the second little mounting bracket, which is going to fit around there, and we'll get the next one in position. just finished the last of the end pieces where these pipes are running round. Just finished the last one there, put those on in position and held them on with the little eyelets that I've made, and that's completed now. The only thing I need to do now is just to solder these little eyelets on so they're fixed in position, so that once I've fitted the roof I can push these back on and they'll all fit and should all be lined up. And the main purpose now is to give these end pieces, these end part of the carriage, a quick coat of primer. The primer is mainly for the brass, these brass parts and some of the metal parts, but we'll just give them the first coat. Now it's had that first coat, I think you'll agree now it takes on a whole different look, and that'll be ready for the coat of black matte final finish, dull matte final coat later on, once these have had probably a couple of coats of primer just to get the brass fully coated.